What's going on? Welcome to the next video. In this video, I'm going to be drawing the chest and arm muscles from the front, side, and also the back view. And also don't forget to leave a comment if you want to see a different video on a particular pose or whatever how-to draw videos that you want to see. And also leave a like and comment. That way I can know whether to make more videos of this or not. So right now I'm working with a reference that I found on Pinterest, and I found all three sides, the front, back, and side view. And this was a perfect reference to work with because of the color coding on all the big muscle parts to focus on. So right now I'm drawing it the usual way that you normally see in my videos, where I'm making the chest first, or the head first, then the chest. And I kind of just start adding in different points to where I'm going to start placing things. Where you see me putting the center line, and also the line for the chest is, and also where the shoulder is going to be. I added the little circle in there. You see like the shoulder is kind of like, it's kind of going into the chest a little bit at the top left and the top right. So right now I'm adding the cylinder for the arm, and I'm working in the forearm, and it's kind of like we're kind of jotting down real quickly just to know where everything is going to be. That way I can lighten this up and start adding in details and trying to find the shapes for those particular parts of the body. So right now I'm working in the hand, and the hand's not going to really be the focus, so I'm not really going to focus too much on the hand. I may just draw a thumb or something, but I'm mainly just drawing the muscles. So right now I'm just lightening it up. So right now I'm going to start adding in the detail to it, working in the neck. And typically, you're going through with the dark shapes and dark lines, and you're kind of just working your way in. You're not really trying to be accurate with it. You're just, you're practicing. You're trying to throw the shapes down quickly. That way you can get an idea of what's going on with the muscles. That's where you see me quickly just throwing in the chest and the shoulders and working my way in. And you see where I'm overlapping the shapes, where you have the shape of the shoulder kind of going into the chest. Working in the other side. You're basically repeating the same process on the other side too. Working in the little bicep. And the bicep kind of goes like under the lat. Working the other side, adding in the rib cage. So right now I'm just literally drawing over top of the cylinders and things that I've already created early on with the lighter tone. Going over the darker lines, form the shapes. And typically, when you're drawing an actual character, unless you're drawing Baki characters, if you've seen in my older videos, but typically a character isn't going to really have all their muscles showing, unless they're like real super extremely ripped. You'll see it, but or if you're drawing a comic book superhero, which you'll always see the pretty ripped, depending on the shadows and who's drawing the character. But me, typically I like to draw them pretty ripped, not too skinny or not showing hardly any muscles. That's why I like drawing the Baki characters, because I think for Baki characters, they're inhumanly ripped in that series. So working the obliques, and details on the rib cage. And typically each rib cage is different when you're drawing. Some rib cages are higher, some are lower. And it's all depending on what you're drawing. You can be drawing some creatures that has rib cages in odd ways. Some people will have 6-packs, some 4. Different body types are completely, it's normal to draw the chest in a different way, depending on what character you're making or whatever style you're doing. So I'm just adding a little, rubbing the hand slightly. Don't want to get too low because I don't want to get slapped with a fine or monetization fee thing on YouTube for drawing things you shouldn't be drawing on the character. So I kind of stop right there. I'm drawing in the ribcage section. You kind of just, it's like you're overlapping the lines. You see me drawing one line and I'm just curving and drawing the other line right on top of that. And I know in some rib cages they add another line, which you see me add right there. And it's all based on your preference on how ripped you want the character to be. I'm just trying to find some other shapes, darkening some others. Whenever I get to the stage to where I'm actually done with it, I like to darken some areas just for the fun of it, and loosen the hand a bit more as I'm drawing the rest of the figure. So you'll see me moving around the pencil or pen to different areas, just darkening them up and trying to get more of a feel for it as I'm moving on to the next. Just darkening it some more. Add some small details to it. Now for this one, I'm working with the back, and so same thing with the chest. I start out with the head again, circling the head, and I'm working my way to draw the rest of the body. And you'll see that I'm drawing it a similar way that I did the chest, except for the one thing I added was the neck is going up a little bit because it's going up into the skull with the muscle, the back of the head. So you see me adding the back the same way I did the chest. I'm adding kind of like a rib cage, but it's for the back. Adding the waist the same way as before, the 2 circles, and the same as those before, where the circles of the shoulders are going into the back muscle. The cylinders for the arms, and make like a little shape for the forearm, circles for the elbows, and I'm kind of just roughing in the shape. And you see how fast it was done, because it's not even sped up, so it's just how quickly you just jot it down. Do like a little slight cut there, so you show me how the lines lighten, and I'm adding the details. So I'm just looking at the reference to see where the muscles are going. And see, I'm just adding, just throwing in a bunch of curves. So throwing in a bunch of curves, not really focusing on if it's correct or not. Adding the shoulder. And you see every muscle that I'm adding in, I'm kind of just, I'm using just round shapes, adding in big shapes, rounding them out, overlapping some of them. Because mainly when you're doing the tricep, it's kind of going like it's kind of going over and around the back of that shoulder. It's a lot of curves. It's like making a bunch of curvy lines for muscles. And in the part of the elbow. And kind of a way to figure out the elbow is kind of like, it's almost like it's a box in there, because it's almost like you're cutting it in a way. As you see me right there doing right there, I'm kind of just cutting away the elbow to kind of give it that 3D effect that the arm is going inward. Just adding in all the muscles to the forearm. And it seems like there's a lot of muscles to add, but you're kind of just throwing in lines. As long as you know where to put the lines and where to throw them in, you're fine. Same as when you're doing foreshortening. When you're foreshortening it, you're basically just, you're drawing the same exact muscles, but your eye can only see what's visible in front of you, so you're only going to draw what your eyes visibly can see. And I'll make some videos on that also, showing me drawing the same body from the side and front view, but the arm is going to be up for shortening. Getting all the detailing all the back. And this is not going to be Yujiro Hama's back, so it's not going to have the little demon back that I've drawn before in my older videos. This is going to be a normal back. Making his little head. You see how the head is going kind of underneath of the neck area. And again, darkening lines. At this point, it's kind of like I'm pretty much done with it. So I'm doing the same thing I did before. I'm just darkening some areas, adding in some things. I may leave this, wake up in the morning, and with a fresh mind, and see different mistakes and go back and start changing things. But when you're just practicing, you're just throwing it down, and then the next day you're moving on to something else. So I'm just adding in the shadow where I put that cut in the elbow, indicate where the shadow is. Now for this one, is going to be the side view. So same as before, circle for the head, but the head is from the side, so I'm adding in kind of a little slight triangle shape for the chin. And I'm working my way down, and since it's a side view, it's a little different. So I'm kind of making like a bean shape, and you see me say this in my other videos, where it's kind of just like a half bean for the top and a half bean for the waist, and everything you're adding in between. Circle for the shoulder, cylinder for the arm. You're basically just drawing the same exact thing, but this time it's from the side. And this is kind of a half. The reason why the half bean shape is tilted upward on the bottom, because it's the same as when I drew the chest, except for this is how it will look, on the side view. I'm kind of just roughing in the shapes real quick, lighten all the lines, and I'm adding in all the details. Starting with the neck. Well, typically, if I wasn't doing a muscle tutorial, and if it was actual drawing, I would have started with the head first and work my way down. Or you can start with the body first and then work your way up. It doesn't really make a difference. It's your own drawing, your own style. You can do it however way you want, as long as everything fits, proportionally or based on the style of your drawing. It doesn't really matter. You're basically just drawing it to have fun with it. So adding in the bicep, adding in the forearm, getting all the muscles in for it. And kind of just jotting and throwing in. And you see how what I'm doing, I'm not even erasing it. I'm literally just throwing it in as I go. You can erase it later if you want. It doesn't make a difference. You're just throwing everything down, fixing it later. That way you can have everything roughed out quickly, and then you can go in and make all your changes later on. Just making like a thumb or hands quickly. Not getting too focused on it. If I was focused on the hands, I would have made separate cylinders for the fingers. Jotting in the chest, following the lines, literally following the line similar to if you're drawing it from the front view, but it's just from the side view. But it's the exact same lines. I think on my drawing, I think the arm is a little further back, but it doesn't matter because your arm can be back that way depending on how he's standing. So it's not like anything is wrong with the picture. If you decide to change it to how it is in the picture, you could if you want, but naturally the body can have the arm that way also. So there's no reason for me to do anything with it. Making oblique and getting in the abs, the back area. Working in the abs, trying to carve or shape it out. Comic book superhero bodies and chests are different, so their chests are a little more concaved. But this one I'm gonna go by the reference and just make it typically as I see accordingly. Just fixing it up, adding in some small shapes. At this point, I'm basically done with it. I'm just same as you see me do before, just darkening the lines, adding in some small touches here and there. Trying to loosen up the hand more. A way to kind of just, you're relieved from finally you're finished, so you can kind of just keep going over it, and it's a way for you to tell your brain, use your imagination to figure out what you're going to do with the pose. That's it for this video. Want to see more like this? Hit the like button, subscribe, comment if you want to see any more videos like this, or some type of pose you want. Let me know in the comments. All right, take care.